Hello again and welcome back here. Let's bring the reference images here. I just want to see what else we can create. What about starting with this panel? All right, let's see how can we create it. Well, according to this image, you can see all the details are here with the reference image, and it is easy to create. So let's start with maybe adding a plane right here. Hit Shift A to add. After putting the 3D cursor over here, hold Shift, hold right click and move the 3D cursor, and now it's sticked on the ground like that. All right, hold Shift and right click and now it's on the ground. And let's add a plane and let's scale it, make it small like that, and let's try to understand what's going on here. Well, actually creating this is easy and it's similar to what we did right here, the same technique. I will scale this to the x-axis like that and apply maybe a scale and tap to go to the edit mode, and I just want to add one edge maybe right here, and maybe we can grab these and just move this a tiny bit and grab this edge and extrude it just a little bit. I want to create this I don't know what to call them, cavities maybe. All right, something like that. I guess it will be okay. And I will extrude this temporarily. I just want to determine I just want to make sure that the size is correct. Now you can go to the right view and make a comparison. You can take this and compare it to these blue lines, this one and this one. So now I will go to the vertex selection mode and I will grab those and move this over here, and grab this side and move this like that, I guess. All right, so now the size is perfect. I guess now we can grab those and move these maybe right here. Right. All right, and now let's take a look. Let's see what we did so far. All right, maybe now I can grab those and extrude them. Let's go back to the right view and let's extrude this almost right here. And let's extrude this up here to this line. And after that, I will grab this and extrude it a little bit and snap it or align this with this surface, with this one. Hit E to extrude, hold Control and snap it right here. Okay, again. Sorry. Very cool. All right, after doing that, and now I want to duplicate this multiple times to create the panel. And I guess we can go back, or I think we don't need to go back. All what we need to do is just moving this here maybe, and stick it with the wall. Hit G and move this to the x-axis like that, and you can move it close to this panel like that, and now we can duplicate multiple times. All right, I will go to the local mode, just hit slash from the numpad because I want to delete some faces, because after duplicating this, I want to merge it. And if I want to do that, I should delete some faces from the side to be connected on this side. For example, now you can tap and grab these faces like this and hit X, F and get rid of them. And the same thing here, grab those over here, hit X, F and get rid of them. And now hit A, select the whole panel and then hit G, or sorry, Shift D to duplicate like that, and then hit B to grab this from this corner to this corner like that. And because auto merge is active, this one right here, these panels will be welded automatically. All right, and now we can do that again and again. Hit Shift D and then B, and you grab this from here and snap it right here, and you can hit Shift R again and again and again. All right. All right, until you reach this point. All right, we have a small variation. I just want to scale it just a little bit towards the y-axis to this direction, because according to the reference image, I got an overlapping right here, and this design should end here. So in this case, I will scale to the active vertex or to the active elements. I will make this vertex, for example, the active one. You can select it, deselect it, and select it again to make it the active. And you can change the transform to active element, and you can check that. Now when you scale will work according to that corner, and that's what I want. After doing that, now you can zoom here and then hit S to the Y and scale it until you align this with this edge. Or maybe we can go beyond that just a little bit. And now we got this result. Cool. All right, now I just want to see if what I did so far is make sense or not. Well, the result is cool, but I think the cavities here, they should be a little bit thinner. All right, that's a little bit annoying to fix them now, actually, but we can do that quickly. Go to the wireframe mode and select these vertices like that. Don't select them both like this, just these vertices, because we're going to move them towards one direction, towards the Y, the axis. And now after grabbing all of these, just hit G to the Y and make the area here very narrow. All right, something like this. Yep. Cool. Hit slash to excite. And now we got this result. All right. Cool. And if we go back to the local mode, I can go to the front view and I can pick these vertices as well and move them down just a little bit like that. And yeah, it's perfect. The distance is correct. Very cool. All right. Now I can cup this area. I can select these edges and hit F to fill this area. Hit F again until you close this side, and you can go to this side as well and hit F multiple times to close this side. All right, now I can grab these faces. You can actually go to the front if you prefer. All right, let's see if we can do that from here. You can go to the local mode and you can select these faces from here. All right, this is a fast way to select those. and you can extrude these a little bit like that. That's very cool. And now I will tab, and I want to duplicate it, but let's give this a bevel before we go any further. So with this panel selected, go to the modifier and then Shift A to add, and let's add a bevel, and let's change the amount to 0.3 maybe, and let's add 3 segment if you like. Right click shade smooth and go to the shading section just to fix the shading and get better result. Active, hard, and normal. Actually, I guess we can reduce the number. Let's type 0.1 maybe. I think this is better. And now hit Shift D to the Z, just take a copy and put it above it. D to the Z just to move this and stick it above it like that. Very cool. And now let's see what we got so far. All right, cool. What I'm going to do is I will grab the vertices, the top vertices of this panel, and move them up just a little bit. Tab, hit Z to go to wireframe, grab these vertices like that, hit Z again to excite, go to the right view, and let's move these up a little bit. Let's bring the reference image. I just want to see what we got right here. All right, hit G to the Z and move these up here, I guess. And we can change that later if we want. And let's grab this side, tab, and let's grab these vertices as well and move them to the ground, G to the Z, until they hit the ground. All right, very cool. And actually, you can have another copy if you like. You can take another copy and you can grab these vertices and move them down like that. Or if you like, you can extend the one underneath it. That will work as well. It's up to you, actually. All right, so yeah, we finished this one. Now let's go back to the images just to see what else we can create here. Okay, we have this panel right here. It's a little bit different. Here we have 2 wings, this one and this one. And I think it's like a curve here. The design a little bit different. So yeah, let's see how can we create it. All right, I will put this image right here. Something like that. And let's start over here. And maybe we can take a copy of this. Yeah, I guess we can take a copy. This surface maybe. This face, Shift D, and let's take copy right here. And then P and then S to separate this out. And let's work on this. And don't forget, the bevel is still applied on this piece of plane. And that's something cool. All right, now I will start creating something similar to what we got right here. I will grab this vertex and move it over here, for example. And you can move this, for example, right here, temporarily. And all right, let's see how can we do that. I will leave a small room for the golden egg that I got right here, or let's say frame. Okay, and I will select this with this and then hit G to move this to the x-axis and hold Control and snap it here. And I will extrude this up. And I will go to the right view. I just want to see what I did so far. So this is the panel that we are talking about. I will grab these vertices. All right, let's move these a little bit up temporarily. And I will grab these vertices and move them to this edge right here. All right, G and move those over here. Something like this. And I will hit Control R to have one edge loop in the middle, and hit Control Shift R to duplicate this to two like this. And now in the perspective, this is what we got. Cool. All right, now with these two edges selected, I will bevel them, hit Control B, just to have two edges like this. And I think we can push this back to the X. Actually, maybe we can do that from the top, I guess. Something like that. All right. And now let's select these faces like this and ignore these and go to the top again and hit E to extrude those just a little bit. Cool. Hit A to select all the faces and then shift with N to recalculate the normal. Oh my god, I always forget to activate the screencast. I don't know why. Anyway. All right, now I guess we can grab these vertices and we can take this up to the end. Or before we take this up, we can complete it and then we will push it up. So, for example, here we have the golden panel or frame that we should create as well. Shift D after you select these faces. Hit Shift D to take a copy like that, and right click to leave it in the same place, and then hit P and then S to separate this out. Tab out, and now let's select this. Tab, hit A, select them all, and then hit E to extrude this. And I'm not so quite sure if we need a room here. I will leave a small room right here. So this is the golden panel or frame. Now I will select this frame and hit Shift D to move it on the other side. Something like that. Okay. And I'm not so quite sure, but I think this side should be a little bit thicker. Or yeah, I think this will be better. Let's make it thicker, just a tiny bit. And now select these three pieces and tab. Go to the wireframe, make sure to select these vertices, all of them, and then hit G to the Z and move this up almost right here. And now we got this result. It's very cool. Actually, the bevel here, it's a little bit smoother. I mean, we can increase the amount to 0.3. And for the frames as well, 0.3. Yeah, I think that will be better. All right, now is the time to create this. And before we do that, actually, we can duplicate this. You can go to the right and then hit Shift D to take a copy and put it on this side right here. All right, so now we have one here and one right here. And here in the middle, we will create this shape, this panel, this wavy panel. All right, so let's see how can we do that. I will put the 3D cursor, for example, right here on the ground, and all right, I will add, for example, a circle. It's very big. I will change the radius to 1 centimeter, and it's right here, as you can see. The vertex is 32. All right, I think that's cool to have 32 vertices. And I will tap to go to the edit mode and go to the top. I just want to delete half of this. Hit X after we select these vertices. Hit X and V to delete these vertices. All right, and I guess we should rotate this 180 degree like that and scale this a little bit like this. All right, here we got a problem. When I scale this, some of these vertices are welded. Turn off auto merge, and then let's scale this back again. And if you like, you can redistribute or fix the distance between these vertices. Select the first one, hold Control, grab the last one, right click, go to the loop tool and choose space. Cool. All right, now let's move this here. And I think we can scale it a little bit like that. And hit E to the Z just to extrude it like that. And don't worry about the color, it's okay. All right. And now we can have multiple copies. And it's up to you if you want to make this low poly or high poly with a lot of vertices and edges. I think we can reduce the number of the vertices a little bit by selecting some vertices. Just select, for example, this one and leave one and select the next one and hit Control Shift plus. All right, let's do that again. Let's add this one, Control Shift plus. It should work. I don't know why it doesn't work. All right, let's do that manually. Hit Control X to dissolve it and grab those. Right click, space. And if you like, you can use relax a little bit just to relax it. And let's go to the top. I just want to take a look here. Maybe we can scale it just a tiny bit like that. And yeah, the result looks nice. I like it. Now hit E to the Z to extrude this up a little bit. And I will hit Shift D to take a copy, and then B just to pick this vertex and put it right here. And by the way, you can use the array if you don't like this method. For example, you can tab out and you can go to the modifier, hover over here, hit Shift A and go to the array and add array. And let's array this, for example, to the Y. Zero out the X and let's add 1 here in the Y, and that's it. And you can duplicate this multiple times. And if you want to merge them together, because this piece is not merged to this one from here. If you want to merge them, just activate the merge option here. Let's go to the merge and activate this one. The distance 1 centimeter. Okay, it's okay. I'm not so quite sure. Maybe one of these edges collapsed. Let's reduce the number to 0.2 maybe. And yeah, now the result is better. And now you can grab these vertices and move them up like that to whatever distance you like. Go to the top. I just want to take a look. I will hit G and move this a little bit right here. All right, that's very cool. And not just that, I will tap, hit A and then Shift N to recalculate the normal or to flip it. And now I can duplicate this using the count here. Go to the top. Actually, it's a little bit difficult to see them from the top, but maybe from here. Okay. I got a small problem right here. If you face something similar to what I got right here, you can scale them. You can scale these to the Y, I guess, and that will help to fix it. And I guess we can move this to the X, key to the X, and let's push these inside a little bit. Right click, shade, auto smooth, I guess. And now we got something cool. All right, that's very cool. Or do we need to worry about this side? Do we need to add some frame here? I think we don't need to do that. All right, after doing all of that, I think now we can focus on the last part here. This part is just a strap of wood we can add here. So actually we can copy what we did here and use it. So for example, we can use this piece, hit Shift D, and let's take it, let's put it right here. Right, let's go to the top because I just want to make sure that this piece is perfectly aligned with the one next to it. And let's see what else we can do right here. All right, we just need to extend this a little bit. Actually, we can go to the wireframe and grab these vertices like that. Hit X and then F to delete all of these faces, and I just ended with this one, as you can see here. And I will hit select to go to the local mode because I want to delete this face as well. Hit X, F to get rid of it because I'm thinking of using array again here. So yeah, I will use array, grab this piece, right click, let's bring the origin here, set origin to geometry, and then let's go to the modifier, hit Shift A, and let's add the array, and let's array this to the Y, hit 1 right here, and zero out the x-axis and the relative offset. And now we can array this. But before we do that, I just want to extend it here. I will grab these vertices in the wireframe mode, and I will move these down to the Z. Like that. Cool. And now let's add multiple copies here. Can we add one more? I guess we can add one more here. All right, after doing that, now you have the ability to apply the array modifier and add a cap here. I just want to do something here. I want to use the merge option to merge these together, and I will reduce the distance here to 0.2 maybe. Just want to make sure that everything is okay, and I will put bevel underneath array. So array will be the first modifier to array these, and bevel will bevel everything. I mean bevel will bevel the result of the array. And now you can hit Control A on the array to apply it. And now you can tap and, for example, grab this edge after you switch to the edge selection mode, and then hit F to cap this and cap this area. And it's okay if you go to the top and scale this just a little bit towards the active elements. For example, I can make this edge the active one and scale this a little bit. It's not a big deal. You can do that. Very cool. And don't worry about the variation that happens here between these panels because all of them will be covered and camera will not catch them. All right, now let's make a comparison and let's see if what we did so far is cool. Well, the result is nice, but I'm not so quite sure if the size or scale of these shapes are correct. I guess we can scale this just a little bit from a certain point. For example, from this one, let's hit S to the, I'm not so quite sure, S to the Y. Just want to scale this just a little bit. I know we will have an overlapping here, but that's okay. And maybe I can scale this to the X, S to the X, just to make it, just to make the curvature a little bit strong. And after doing that, now we can go back to the array and reduce the number. All right. Let's scale this to the Y again, just a tiny bit. In the edit mode. And yeah, now they become a little bit bigger. Very cool. All right, I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one. Hello again and welcome back. In this video, I want to focus on the pictures we have here. I think we can create one frame and we can duplicate it and use it for all the pictures exist in the scene. So let's start doing that, and I will start with this one here. If you go to the right view, or actually it's visible right here, the frame and the size, everything is here. So let's start with this one. I will put the 3D cursor over here, and let's go to the right, and I will add plane, and I will align this to the view like that. And I know you can't see it, but when you orbit around like that, you will see the plane right here. You can move it out just a little bit like this. And if you go to the wireframe, you can see it now. Let's move this a little bit down. And let's try to put it in the center like that. All right, let's open the screen cast. Let's tap to go to the edit mode. I will hit 1 to switch to vertex selection mode. Click and drag to select these, and I will move them and align them with this edge and the blueprints, and I will grab those over here and move them just a little bit like this, and select those 2 vertices, and I will move them up right here and grab those and move them down. All right, that's very cool. So this is the first step. After that, now we can start with the frame, and it will be something very easy. Just hit A, select everything, and then hit I to create a small inset. Just accept the inset, even if it was thick like that, it's okay because we can control it from here. After you accept that, you can open the menu right here and give a specific number to the thickness. For example, we can start with 1 centimeter, and let's check this out. 1 centimeter looks amazing. I like that. As you can see, the middle face is selected and the faces around it are not selected, and that's something cool. So with this select face, I can detach it. So hit P and then S, P and then S to separate this face in the middle. And now I can focus on the frame. Now the middle face is switched to the object mode automatically because we detach it. And the frame itself is still in the edit mode. Now I will hit A to select everything, and now I can extrude this out. All right, now I guess we can separate this out, because what I want to do here, I want to add a slice right here. So let's say grab this face with this one and hit P and then S to separate this out. And now you can tab out and give each one of them a thickness. And you can do that by using the solidify modifier. Just go to this icon right here and then hit Shift A to open the add menu, the modifier add menu, and let's search for solidify. It's right here. And you can, I don't know, maybe we can give it 2 centimeter as a thickness. All right, now I will copy the modifier from this object to this one. Select this one because we want to give it the modifier, and then hold Shift and grab this one with the modifier, and then go to this arrow and choose copy to select it. And now this object have the same information we gave it here to this. All right, after that, I guess we can push this a little bit inside towards the x-axis, hit G to the x, and push this just a tiny bit inside. Something like that, as you can see here. And now we can give it a bevel modifier as well. I will select this and let's close the solidify, hit Shift A, and let's add a bevel, and let's change the amount to 0.2 maybe, or 0.2. All right, 0.1. All right, looks cool. I will increase this to 3, and I will copy the same modifier to this one. Grab this, hold Shift to grab this object that has the modifier and copy to select it. Right click, shade smooth, and this one shade smooth, and then go to the bevel, harden normal, and this one as well you can active harden normal. All right, one more thing here. I guess we can merge them. You can grab those together, hit Control J, and make them one piece. Actually, it's okay to do that. All right, now after creating this, now we can copy this and use it here, and we can use it as, I think, here as well. So let's do that. Well, with these two pieces selected, hit Shift D to take a copy like that. And let's rotate this 90 degree to the Z axis like this. And let's move it right here. From the top view, you can put it in the correct place. Like that, I guess. And according to this image, well, I guess we can move it a little bit up, or maybe we can jump to the edit mode and tweak it. So yeah, let's jump to the edit mode. With these two pieces selected, hit tab to go to the edit mode. And just one thing it's very important to do, just turn off auto merge right here, because if you keep it open or active, these pieces will be merged together automatically. So just keep in mind to turn this off like that to avoid any merging. And now go to the vertex selection mode. You can hit Z to go to wireframe, just to grab those over here and just make it thinner. All right, you can eyeball it actually. It's not quite necessary to be precise here. Let's move this a bit right here and let's compare it with the block. Let's see if what we are doing makes sense or not. Maybe we can go again to the wireframe mode and grab these two vertices and make it thinner. And maybe we can grab everything and move this up here maybe. And in the wireframe, I can grab these two vertices and move these up a tiny bit like that, I guess. Maybe thinner. Let's make it a little bit thinner. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. After that, you can hit A, select everything, and take a copy. Hit Shift D, take a copy, and let's put this copy right here next to this one. And you can hit P and then S to separate this out. Tab out, and let's select this new one, the frame and the picture itself, and tab. Go to the wireframe, grab these vertices, and let's move those down here. Grab those here, and let's move them a little bit up like that. And maybe we can make it a little bit wider. No, I think we don't need that. All right, so yeah, that's very cool. Looks nice. Now I will copy one of these pictures and use it on this wall according to this image, as you can see. Actually, I can put it here. So I guess we can use this one. Let's check the origin dot. Origin dot, it's a little bit off. I guess we can put it in the center. Select the image itself, right click, set origin to geometry, and grab the frame, the same thing. That's cool. Now I will grab them together and hit Shift with D and take a copy on the other side right here. And from the top, we can rotate this 180 degree like that, and we can go to the front view, and we can put this in the correct place. So with this one selected, move this down just a little bit and align it with the reference image like that. And now we can tap to go to the edit mode and grab these vertices and align them with the reference image like this. And now we need to duplicate multiple times, or maybe we can make it a little bit wider, just a little bit, not too much. And maybe this one we can move it up here like that, I guess. After that, you can use array modifier to have multiple copies. So let's go to solid and let's tab and let's check the situation here. All right. The solidify I can apply it. I don't want it anymore. I will hit Control A to apply it. And I guess we can grab those together and hit Control J and make them one piece like that. And keep bevel. It's not necessary to apply it now. All right, now after that, I can close bevel and go back to the modifier menu and add array. And I can add 4 copies here from the count. And I can put or leave a small space between each image by pushing the factor a little bit up. Hold Shift and move this a tiny bit. And you can determine that when you go to the front. And let's see what's going to happen. I will push this until the last image reach the reference image, the frame of the last one. And now let's make a comparison. Let's see if that makes sense. All right. All right, it needs to be tweaked just a little bit, I guess. So maybe it should be a little bit wider. In this case, you can grab the first one and tap to go to the edit mode and make it a little bit wider. And let's see how that will affect the final result. All right, now when you grab these vertices and move them like that to the x-axis, we are not getting what we want exactly. In this scenario, we can leave relevant offset and use constant offset. Let's tab out and let's try to put this in place. Just manipulate the distance and do what I did recently, and then grab one of these Let's grab this vertex and let's see. All right, now here the scenario is a little bit different, as you can see. Now I can move the image a little bit and make the distance smaller. And after doing that, now we can tab out and manipulate this again. And let's make a comparison with the image. As you can see, the result makes sense. The result looks cool, but I don't know why I feel the frame here a little bit thinner. Maybe it is just illusion. I'm not so quite sure. All right, now let's see what's the next step. All right, maybe we can create this a panel, and I guess we can use one of these panels. I guess we can use this one. Hit Shift D to take a copy, and I will rotate this to the Z-axis. After I put the origin dot here in the middle, just hit right click and origin to geometry, hit R to the Z, and rotate this 180 degree, and you can go to the top and put this in place like that. And we can put it here in the corner, and let's take a look and let's see what we got. Right here we can make some tweaking. All right, tab, hit A, grab everything, go to the mesh and mirror this to the X-axis like that, and move this. From the top you can put it in the correct place like that, close to the wall. And I will grab these vertices in the wireframe mode and move those down here like that to the ground, and hit A, select everything, because as you can see the geometry is where that's mean the normal flipped. After you hit A, hit Shift N to recalculate the normal, and go to the right, and let's make a comparison and let's see if that's correct or not. All right, now I will grab these vertices and move these like that and match it with the reference image. All right, cool. I guess we can grab these vertices in the wireframe mode and move them down like that. I think this result will be better. Cool. One more thing here I would like to do. I just want to copy one of these frames to create this one, this picture. I can select the frame and apply the solidify, hover over here, and then hit Control A to apply it. And I will select this with the image itself and hit Control J to make it one piece. All right, if a problem happen, if you select this as a first geometry and then select the image itself, and as you can see, we don't have any modifier here. When you hit Control J, the modifier will be disappeared according to this geometry in the middle because it doesn't has any modifier. In this case, to avoid this problem, select the image itself because it doesn't has any modifier, and then hold Shift to grab the frame and then hit Control J. In this case, you will avoid losing the bevel modifier. All right, now I will hit Shift D to take a copy right here, and maybe we can move it down. Tab, and let's select these vertices and let's move those right here, and maybe those, I guess we can put them right here, and those, smooth them a little bit here, something like that maybe. All right, maybe we can grab those and move them down a tiny bit. All right, and this one as well, this picture, we can take a copy again, Shift D, and let's put the corner of this new copy almost right here, according to the reference image, as you can see. All right, something like that, I guess. And now we can tab and grab the side and move these vertices over here and these vertices as well, grab them and move those down, maybe right here, and that will be it. Very cool. All right, for this picture from the top, let's move it away from the panels like that. All right, I think we finished here. Okay, that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one. Hello again and welcome back here. In this video, I want to start with the TV console. But before starting modeling this piece, I just want to organize the scene a little bit. I want to create a collection for the wall panels and put them inside one collection in case we want to hide them for any reason. And the windows as well, I want to put them in a specific collection. So let's see how can we do this. All right, I will select multiple pieces here. Let's start with this and this piece. All right, and this one. Let's grab them like that. All right, let's grab. Actually, we can grab them like this and deselect the wall. All right, I guess we can add this one and deselect the wall and the empty. And I think that's it. Or maybe we can add this one as well with the pictures. All right, let's select them like that and deselect the wall and the ground as well. And to make sure that you didn't select anything else accidentally, you can hit G and move them and see what else moves with the wall panels. As you can see, nothing, just wall panels and pictures, and that's what I want. After doing that, after selecting these pieces, hit M to open the collection menu and hit new collection and call this, for example, wall. Hit enter twice, and now we have them inside one collection right here. And now you have the ability to hide them and unhide them. After that, we can grab the windows as well, just to grab them like that and select those over here and deselect the wall and the ground and this piece as well. And now you can move them. I just want to see if there anything else moves with them. All right, now I can hit M again and create a new collection, and I can call this window. That's very cool. And now I can hide them as well. All right, that's very cool. I will keep the windows hidden right now. One more thing here I just want to do before I create the TV console. According to one of these images, let's try to find it. Yeah, this image. I noticed that this panel, it's a little bit pushed out. I mean, here we have some thickness, and we didn't do that actually, but it's something simple to tweak. All what we should do is just grabbing these pieces like that and adding these, and from the top you can go to the wireframe if you like and tap to go to the edit mode, and I will grab these vertices like that and go to this side, hold shift and add those as well like this. It seems like I forget to pick this one, so I will tab out, hold shift to add this one, tab again, and I will deselect these. Let's go to this side. All right, now after doing that, you can hit key and push these out just a little bit. Key to the X, as I guess, something like that. Try to push this and give it some thickness similar to what we got right here. And after that, these pieces as well, I should move them out just a tiny bit. All right, that will work. That's very cool. All right. Right now, I think we are ready to create the TV console. So actually, we don't have enough information to create this piece, but I guess we can count on one of these characters. I mean, if we use this one, let's first put it on the ground. I will hit key to the Z and hold Ctrl to snap it on the surface. And now it is on the surface. Yeah. And I will put it right here close, near to the place of the TV console, so I can compare it with this character. All right. If I go to the right, I can see the TV. Actually, I can create a plane right here and put it temporarily, so I can see the size of the TV, and that's something makes sense actually. So in the perspective, just put the 3D cursor over here and go to the right, hit Shift A to add, and you can add plane and align it to the view like that, and just move it down a little bit like that. Hit S to the Z and scale it like this, and let's align these vertices like that, and those over there, let's move them just a tiny bit. And for these vertices, actually can move them, for example, right here temporarily. All right, and now I can see the dimension of the TV. I can give it some extrude, and now I guess we can start with the TV console. All right, let's see how can we do that. I will tab out and I will put the 3D cursor over here, and I will hit Shift A and add cube, for example. Let's scale this cube just a tiny bit, and I will hit G and move this up just a little bit, and you can compare it with the character. I will hit G to move it, Shift Z to cancel the Z axis and make it move just to the X and Y. And I will move it right here close to the piece of furniture so I can compare it with it. And yeah, the height looks okay. If you want to go beyond that, just a tiny bit, something like that, it will be cool. Control A, apply the scale, and let's tab and let's try to manipulate this piece. I will hit G to move this, for example, right here. You can compare it with the image. The distance here, as you can see, I'm not quite sure if I want to give it a number, but maybe right here, something like that. And for this side as well, let's hit G and move this, for example, right here. All right, something like that. And now let's see what else we can do. All right, I will select this face and I will go to the local mode, hit slash, and I will select this face as well, and I will give it an inset. You can give it an inset right here, or you can do something else, like grabbing these faces like this, and hit I to make an inset, and then hit O to invert the inset so we can have edges like that. And after that, you can determine the distance after doing this. For example, for this one, I guess 3 centimeter will be cool. All right, that's very cool. You may ask me why you didn't add one edge right here and hit Control Shift R to duplicate it. That will work, but I want to use the inset method so I can be specific when I give it a number. I will grab those like that and focus on this side as well. And I will hit I again to have outset, not inset this time. Let's call outset. And I will type 3 here as well. And as you can see now, the distance is even. I will select this face and this one, and then hit right click and choose a break face to break those together, as you can see right here. I want to show you the other scenario. Just want to show you why I'm doing this. For example, if we take this face right here, all right, I will cut this and I will delete these edges and let's extrude this. I just want to show you something. For example, now if I hit inset, I will hit auto invert it like that. And if I accept this result, now after that, I should bridge it, as you can see. I know that's fast. This method is fast, but when you hit Control R to add one edge, this edge will be tilted a little bit according to this corner, as you can see. There is a scenario to fix that, actually. For example, if I want to move it right here, I can hit S to the Y and hit 0, enter, but that will work. But if you create this using this method, you will avoid this problem, and you can put the egg without scaling the egg towards any axis to flatten it. So for me, I prefer this. If you think this method is faster and better, go ahead with it. So let's grab this one, hit XF to delete these faces. All right, now let's see what we got right here. All right, so here we have an open area, and all right, here we have this area covered, this one and this one. So let's start with this piece first. I guess we can use the knife tool to cut this area, and don't worry about any dimension here. Hit K to use the knife tool, and you can cut from anywhere you like. For example, I can start from here and go to this direction. And if you want the cut to be straight, and that's important, hit A and then hit C to cut through and confirm with left click and then enter. Now we have this cut goes through the geometry. And this distance, actually, it's cool. After that, we can bevel it with Control B and give it a thickness similar to what we got right here. All right, so I guess 1.5 will be cool. All right, that's very cool. Nice. And now I will hit Control R, so I have one edge here, something like that. And now I can grab this face with this face and bridge it. Right click, bridge face. As you can see, now we got a connection between this side and this side. All right, now I will select the three faces like that, and I will add this with this one, and I will hit Shift with D to take a copy like that, and I will hit right click to leave the copy in the same place, and I will detach it. Just hit P and then S, tab out, and now let's select this new piece, and I will tab to the edit mode of this piece. All right, I will grab this edge with this edge, sorry, this one with that one, and I will hit F to connect them like that. And I will hit Alt click to grab this edge loop, and then actually I can delete this edge. Control X to dissolve it, grab this one, Control X to dissolve it. Grab this edge, Alt click to select the entire edge loop, hit F to create a face. Alt click on this one, hit F. As you can see, the normal is flipped, and as you can see, and the color, the red color showing as that. Hit A to select all the faces and recalculate the normal. Hit Shift with N, and now it's done. So that's very cool. Now, after creating this piece, now you have the ability to determine the size of this piece. For example, you can grab these two pieces and tap to go to the edit mode, and you can go to the wireframe and you can move these vertices to see if the size fits what we need or not. All right, let's go to this side. All right, here in this area, I need to create another cut. So I will go to the top and use the knife tool again, hit K, and let's create a cut goes like that. Hit A to make the cast right, hit C to cut through, left click, and then enter. And now we have another egg loop. I will grab these vertices or these edges, and I will hit Control B to bevel it like that. And let's add 1.5 as I remember. All right, that's very cool. And now actually, I guess we can connect those together. All right. Grab those together, hit right click, and then break face. Cool. All right. After that, I will grab this edge loop, hit Alt click to select the entire edge loop, and hold Shift to add this one, and hit P and then to separate this edge loop. Tab out, and let's focus on this edge. Grab it and then tab to select it, and then select all the vertices, and then hit F to create a big face right here. And after that, you can give it a thickness, and if you like, we can go to the top, active wireframe, so we can see the thickness. Hit E and extrude this, something like that. All right, that's very cool. Right now, let's see what else we could do right here. I think this should be thinner. I'm not so quite happy with the dimensions, so I will grab it like that and tab, and let's go to the wireframe, hit Z, and I will grab all of these vertices and just move them down just a little bit. Or maybe something like that, I guess. And now maybe we can grab these vertices and move them a little bit. I think this size is cool. Okay. All right, now I guess we can jump to the other side and create the towers, as you can see right here. All right, let's see how can we do that. I will select this face right here and take a copy. You can take this copy out if you like right here for now, and hit P and S, and you can work on this. Tab out, select this one, tab again, hit Ctrl R to add one edge loop here in the middle, like this. And you can hit Ctrl with B to bevel this just a tiny bit, and then hit XF to delete this face in the middle. Now you can grab this and move it close like that, and you can hit E to extrude it just a little bit like this. And now, because we extruded these faces on the wrong direction, we should fix them by hitting A to select all the faces, and then hit Shift and to recalculate the normal. After that, you can go to the vertex selection mode and hit Z to jump to wireframe. Let's grab these vertices like that, and let's move these down just a tiny bit. Hit G to the Z to create this small gap, as you can see it. Maybe we can go beyond that, something like this. And now let's take a look and let's see what we got so far. All right, and here we have, I don't know what to call it, divider, something here in the middle. So let's try to create it. I will select this and tap to go to the edit mode, and I will hit Ctrl R to add one edge loop here, and then hit Ctrl would be to bevel it to 2 like that. And then I will grab this face and copy it, hit Shift D to take a copy, and right click to leave it in the same place, and then hit P and then S to detach it. Tab out to focus on this small piece. Tab to go to the edit mode, hit A to select the face, and then hit E to extrude this out. You can hold Control on this surface to snap it right here, but make sure to active face snap. Alright, that's very cool. Now I will hit slash to excite, and I want to make a comparison with the human. I just want to see if that's okay or not. Alright, looks cool. The size looks cool and everything is okay. Alright, now let's create the legs. As you can see them right here. Let's see how can we create them. I will select the structure and hit select to go to the local mode, and I will tap to jump to the edit mode, and I will hit Control R to add one edge loop right here and bevel it. Hit Control B, bevel it like that. Don't be so precise, something like this, it will work. And after that I will grab these two edges and maybe bevel them again, or I'm not so quite sure of that importance. Let's grab these faces like this. Alright, I should leave a distance here. I wanted to extrude these faces, but I need more distance here. So in this case, I will hit Control R to add one edge loop right here, and I will move it until this edge reach this one and stop here, and I will move it again back. I will hit G to move this at a specific distance, maybe 5 centimeter minus for this side, -5, and that will be okay. And if I want to get something similar on that side, I should do the same. But let's make sure that this distance is really what we want. Maybe we should go beyond 5. I will hit G twice and slide it and stop it right here, and I will hit G and move this back to almost 7 minus. Alright, I should do the same here. Hit Control R, add one edge and push it on this side, and then hit G and go to 7 centimeter here. Alright, now I will grab these faces starting from here, hold Control, select this one to select these faces between, and I will hit E to extrude it just a little bit, something like that. Alright, now I got something similar to the reference image, as you can see here. Alright, now let's see how can we create these legs. Alright, you can create these legs maybe starting from this surface actually. Just hit Shift D and take a copy right here. Alright, something like that. And now we can manipulate these vertices. Alright, I will grab these two vertices and just move them down just a little bit. And maybe we can grab those as well and move them. Let's move these up here and maybe something like that. Alright, maybe this vertex we can move it like this, trying to have something like a taper. And then I want to select this face and detach it as well. Grab it like that, hit P and then S and detach it. Tab out and let's focus on this. Tab again, and now with this face selected, hit E and let's give it a thickness like that. And I will grab these two vertices and move them like that. And this face as well, I just want to move it a tiny bit to avoid this overlapping. Key and let's take this towards the x-axis a little bit. Alright, and to avoid this red color that's indicate the normal is flipped, I will hit A and then Shift N to recalculate the normal. Alright, now we have one leg. you can go back to the right and copy this leg. Tab, hit A, select all the faces I mean, and then hit Shift D and take another copy right here on this side and mirror it. Go to the mesh and mirror this to the y-axis like this. And let's try to put it in place, something similar to what we got right here. You can see the distance here to this corner is just tiny distance here we got. So let's try to get something similar. Just hit key and just leave a small distance from this piece of the furniture to this corner. All right, now I will select those both and copy them on the other side. Hit Shift D. Let's copy this one right here, and I will mirror it to the x-axis. Go to the mesh, mirror x, and now let's move this just a little bit like that. All right. After doing that, hit A, select them all, Shift N to recalculate the normal. Now let's hit select to excite and let's see if these legs reach the ground. All right, that's too much actually. I will tab and go to wireframe, select these vertices like that, and then hit G to the Z, hold Control and snap them on the ground. You can hit Control H if you want to hook these to an empty. If you hit Control H, empty will create right here, and this empty can control these vertices. Now if you tab out and select this empty and move it, this empty will affect the vertices, and now we have the ability to grab the piece of furniture like that in case we want to move this up just a little bit. All right, we can move it like that. Hit G to the Z and let's move this, and as you can see, legs will the bottom side of the legs will stick down, and you can move this up just a little bit and make it taller. All right, something like that. All right, I think this height looks cool. Maybe a little bit more like that. It's up to you actually. All right, now is the time to give this a bevel. And not just that, we could move it a little bit from the wall, I guess. All right, I thought we have some overlapping, but no, we don't. All right. I will start with this piece. I will select it like that, and let's go to the modifier icon right here and hit Shift A, and let's add a bevel, and let's change this to 0.1, make it very tiny, and you can manipulate, you can increase the segment to 3, right click, shade smooth, and active harden normal to get nice shading. And now this bevel, I will copy it on the other parts. So let's give the drawers a bevel, grab them like that, hold Shift to grab the piece, this piece that we gave it bevel, and copy to select it. All right, and this piece as well, grab it, hold Shift to grab this one, copy to select it. And this one as well, hold Shift to grab this, copy to select it. All right, this piece, hold Shift to grab this, copy to select it. And now we got a tiny bevel added on this. Maybe for this piece we can go a little bit beyond that. I guess we can add 2 segments right here for a reason. All right, let's add 1, and I will change the amount to 0.2, I guess, maybe 0.3. And now I will add another bevel, and I will explain to you what I'm about to do. You can see these 2 edges, as you can see right here. I want to rebevel them again, and that will give me a different look, and I will show you. So if you want to toggle the wireframe on and off, you can go to the object and then viewport display and toggle wireframe. But for me, I put the wireframe in the quick favorite. Just hit right click on it and you can choose add to quick favorite. For example, this one, add. And when you hit Q, you will find it right here, display wire. Anyway, I will change this to shade flat because I just want to show you what I'm about to do here. As you can see, now I will duplicate this one, duplicate this bevel, and I will change the amount to 0.1. All right, so I think that's too much. I will add 0 right here. You can see here we have 2 bevels, as you can see. Maybe we can go beyond that to 3. All right, and I will active harden normal for this one, and I guess for this one. All right, and you can see now the difference. Now is better. Right, something like that. For this piece, I guess we can just increase the amount 2.2, I guess, and that will be more than enough. Cool. All right, that's very cool. All right, I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one. Hello again and welcome back here. In this video, we will create the TV. Let's see how can we create this. All right, the TV will be something simple to create actually. It's not complicated. Let's try to understand it first. The frame, it's a little bit thick. And down here, it seems like we have a thick area and legs, and that's it. And I guess we can start with this piece we created in the recent lecture. I will grab it and then tap to go to the edit mode, and I will hit Z to go to wireframe. By the way, about the Z, you can hit Z or you can hit Alt Z to jump to transparent mode. That will work as well. It's right here, this icon. If you see it. So you can use this or this. And one more thing here, if you like to do, you can go to the viewport shading and you can push the X-ray up to 1 and keep it active always. All right. Now I can keep this active and I can select the vertices, the hidden vertices, without going to his Z and switch to wireframe. So just keep in your mind the scenario. I will grab these vertices and hit key to the Z, and I will move this close to the TV console, something like that. All right, maybe I can move this forward just a little bit. And let's try to manipulate this piece a little bit. All right, I will tap to go to the edit mode and I will grab this face. All right, this one right here, and I guess we should extrude it a tiny bit like that and scale it down like that. All right, let's see if that's correct. And here I will add one edge loop in this area. And I guess we can bevel it with Control B, and I can grab this face and hit G to the X and move this back just a little bit more like that. All right, I guess we should grab these faces as well. Alt click to select the entire face loop and move this up. Key to the Z. Key to the Z again, maybe just a tiny bit. Okay. All right, now I can select these faces like that and give them a small amount of inset, hit I to create an inset like that. Inset, it doesn't work correctly. I guess that's happened because of the scale that doesn't apply. So let's go to this panel and let's check the item. And as you can see, the scale is not 1. It should be applied. Control A, apply scale. All right, now let's hide this panel and let's tab again. With these faces selected, hit I to create a small inset and make it very small, like that. All right, and after that, you can hit E to extrude this just a little bit. And let's check the extrusion on this side, hit E. And let's push this in just a tiny bit. And there is something you can do or ignore. As you can see here, the edge or this area becomes sharp. It's 90-degree angle. You can hit I again. Can hit I. Something very small like that. And after doing that, you can go to the edge selection mode and grab this edge loop and hit Ctrl X to dissolve it to have a small taper here. I think that's better. It's up to you to put it or ignore it. All right, now I think it's the time to, I want to make the corners sharp. I need to add edge loops close to the corners just to make them sharp. So let's see how can we do that. Let's try to use bevel. Let's see how bevel works here. I will tab out and go to the modifier. And let's add a bevel modifier and let's change this to 0.1 maybe. Something very tiny, as you can see. You can add 2 here. And above that, you can add subdivision surface. Let's search for subdivision surface. And let's add 2. And let's see what we got so far. All right, the result is not good. As you can see, we got a lot of problems. All right, if that doesn't work, there's another scenario. We can add edges manually. So let's hit Ctrl R to add one edge loop close to this side. As you can see, something like that. And we can add one on this side as well. All right, that's very cool. If you want to be more precise, you can do something here. I will show you what I mean. I will add one edge here in the middle, and I will grab these vertices, as you can see, and I will hit XV to delete them. And I can focus on one side and mirror this side. So tab out, let's search for mirror. And now we have this side mirrored. I will push this up the modifier to put it as a first modifier. And now I can focus on one side. Hit Ctrl R to add one edge here. And one edge goes like that. All right, that's very cool. And let's move here. Ctrl R to add one edge loop here just to support this corner, and this one edge loop right here as well. And one edge loop here. And one for this corner. All right, one for this corner as well, and one right here. All right, we can add one right here. Something like that. 2, actually. All right, let's see if we forget anything. I will add another edge loop as a support for the first one. Now here we have 2. All right, maybe one here as well, just to get a clean corner in this area. Maybe this one I can move it down just a little bit like that. And maybe this one as well. All right, now with this selected, I will active the subdivision surface, and now we should have nice and smooth result, as you can see here. Right click, shade smooth. You can detach the screen now or maybe later, it's up to you. Just select these faces and then hit P and then S to separate this out, and you can delete subdivision surface from it. We don't need it. And for the frame, you can go to the local mode, and to avoid this problem, all right, it seems like we didn't detach the screen correctly, so I will hit Ctrl Z multiple time, and all right, now I will select the screen like this and hit Ctrl plus 2 time to include these faces. All right, but here it seems like we go too far, so I think we should select these manually like that, Alt Shift and add these, and those as well. That's all. And then hit P and then S to separate this, tab out, and now everything is cool. All right, seems like we got a problem right here for some reason, I don't know why, but this area is not good in the middle. All right, these two edges, I guess we don't need them. Grab them, Control X, and dissolve them. And let's try to understand what's going on here exactly. So here we have mirror, and mirror should work correctly on this surface. All right, these edges first, let's try to get rid of them. We don't need them actually. All right, I will activate clipping and tap, and let's try to grab these vertices, hit key to move them until they snap here to the middle. And now we fix the problem. And maybe we can do the same here. I will activate the clip and move this to the center. All right, now all what we need to do is just creating this stance, and I guess we can use one of these faces to create something quickly. All right, I will grab this face and hit Shift D to copy it, for example, right here. And when you do that, something similar will happen on this side as well. And make it a little bit wide like that. And I will grab these vertices and hit key to move this down just a little bit like that. All right, and from the right, I guess we can extrude this just a little bit like that, and then extrude this like that. Okay, hit Control L just to select these linked vertices, and then hit P and then S to separate this out. All right, I don't need subdivision surface. I don't need subdivision surface for this piece. I will delete from here. All right, it seems like we forget to add one edge loop right here to support this side as well. All right, now better. All right, now I will grab this and tap, hit A, select them all, and I will hit E to extrude this and give it a thickness. And then I will grab this face and then hit E to extrude it forward a little bit, maybe. And then grab these vertices and push them back a tiny bit like this. And then tab out, and now we can give this a bevel. So let's go to the generate, go to the modifier list. Mirror still here, and we need mirror to mirror this lake on the other side. And now above that, I will add bevel with 0.1 maybe centimeter, and let's increase the segment to 3. Right click, shade smooth, and harden normal. And now we should have something cool here. All right, the result looks cool. Now let's excite and Let's see what we got so far. Let's see if this result makes sense. And it's not make sense, as you can see. So in this case, what we can do is I will grab these vertices and move them up here. And it seems like we create something very, very big. But I think we can fix it. All right, let's grab these vertices and move them just a little bit like that. And maybe we can grab these vertices as well and move them down just a tiny bit like this. Maybe these vertices, I can move them back a little bit to create something small like that. Not just that, I guess we can grab these vertices and hit key to the Z and move these up here. All right, grabbing those, maybe we can move them like that. All right, that's very cool. Nice. Now, after that, if you compare what you did here to this character, everything looks nice, everything makes sense. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. We have some variation between the image and this result, but this is not a big problem because the stance, as you can see, according to this image, it's a little bit tilted too much out. I mean, if I want to draw it, I think it should goes from here and then goes like that. And in case you care about these details, actually all what you should do is just move this inside a little bit more like that and manipulate these vertices a tiny bit, maybe something like that, and maybe you can move these, or maybe we can hear these vertices. Let's use the here, maybe hear them, I guess, but I want to hear them according to this active vertex. So let's change this to the active element and we can hear them from there. Something like that, in case you care. And then you can go back to select box, tab out, and now we got something close, let's say. And it's working. It's cool. All right, I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you on the next one. Hello everyone and welcome back to this new video. In this video, I want to create this piece of furniture, the box shelf. If you hit Z to go to wireframe, you can see a little bit of this piece of furniture. The other informations are not visible, but this small area, it will be useful because we can determine the height according to what we see here. I will put the 3D cursor here in this area because I want to create right here. And I will go to the right and I will add plane and I will align this to the view like that. And I will hit Z to go to wireframe. I will scale this. I want it to be small. All right, let's move this, for example, right here temporarily. Maybe we can move it here as well. Something like that. Because according to this image, you can see the tip of this wood plate. It's almost aligned with this one. I'm not so quite sure, but I think maybe we can depend on this image. And yeah, I think they are aligned. That's mean the plane you can put it right here and you can start from here. Hit Control A and apply the scale for the plane and then tap to go to the edit mode, and now we can start playing with this. I will start with the vertices. I will move them a little bit, for example, right here. All right, something like that. And I will take one of these vertices, for example, this one, and I will hit Shift D to put it, for example, right here. And I will hit E to extrude this all the way down on the plane like that. And let's see what else we can do. All right, I think that's wrong because this edge, it should be aligned with this corner, as I guess. So I guess we should move it down just a little bit and maybe grab these two vertices and move them down like that. All right, and then I will grab this vertex, hit Shift D and take a copy right here, and I will extrude it like that. All right, that's very cool. And I will grab these two vertices, hit Shift D, and I will put a copy almost right here. And I will push this diagonally, hit G twice, and move this back, and then hold Alt and move this like that. And these should be aligned, but don't worry about that now. All right, now this vertex, I will slide it back, hit G 2 times. Okay, I always forget to activate the screencast. All right, hit G 2 times and slide this back. For example, right here, temporarily. All right, and now we have the structure ready. And now we can go beyond that to create this. Maybe this vertex, we can move it, or maybe we can move it later. All right, let's go to the perspective. All right, now we are in the perspective. I will switch to the face selection mode, and I will select this face, and I will hit I to create an inset. And accept the amount, any amount, and here you can control it. Let's type 1.5. And this face in the middle, we don't need it. Hit X, F, and get rid of it. All right, now I will select these edges. We can start with these edges like that, and I will extrude them back like this. And now these faces as well, go to the face, alt click and extrude these, hit E and extrude this, and you can snap it with this corner like that. And to snap it, you should active vertex snap, don't forget that. All right, everything looks fine so far. I will grab this face and I will give it a thickness. Let's go to the face and let's choose solidify face. And all right, here we have 1 centimeter. Let's type 1.5 centimeter. And this face as well, grab it and let's go to the solidify face. And let's give it 1.5 minus. And this one as well, face solidify. All right, let's delete the minus from here because we want the extrusion to be on the other side like that. All right, that's very cool. And now hit A and then Shift N to recalculate the normal for all of these pieces. And we have some overlapping right here, as you can see. It's very easy to fix. Just to grab this face, hit G twice and slide it back like that. And that's it, something like that. And for this face right here, just to grab it and you can do the same thing. Actually, you can do something here. You can change the transform orientation to local, and you can active the tool, or let's say normal, sorry. And now the gizmo orientation will be aligned to the surface direction, and now we can move it like that simply. You can see here the surface is not perfectly aligned with this one. And if you want a perfect result, you can active face project. All right, you can move these, hit G and snap it on this surface. All right, let's see if that will work. All right, let's go to the vertices and let's move these. Hold Control and snap it. And now I guess it's aligned, as you can see. But all right, I think here we got another problem. We got a very small amount of twisting happen right here. So actually, it's not quite necessary to do that. So in this case, you can grab this manual like that and hit G twice and hold Alt and push this and align it with this surface like that. And you can do the same for this one, G twice and hit or hold Alt and move it like this. That will be enough. And for these vertices, let's move this just a tiny bit until this corner hits this piece of wood, and then grab this one as well, hit G twice, move this back, hold Alt and move this like that. And now let's see what we got so far. All right, everything looks cool. The result looks beautiful. And maybe now these vertices, we can grab them and move them back just a little bit. I'm not so quite sure if we need to do that. You can actually grab a guide from here if you are so worried about this. You can grab this edge, for example, and move it and make a comparison. You can temporarily leave it right here. And now you can see here we have small differences. You can move this back and align it. G twice and slide this back like that. And you can do the same for this area, G twice and slide this back. All right, fixing these issues actually is not quite important. It's not the end of the world. You can ignore them. But in case you want to be precise, this is how to be precise. I will grab this guide, this edge, and then hit XE to get rid of it because I don't want it. And now this piece become ready to give it bevel. All right, so tab out and let's go to the modifier and hit Shift A to add modifier. From the generate, I will add bevel. And let's give it very small amount, maybe 0.1, I guess, with 2 segment or 3, active, hard, and normal, and give it shade smooth. And I think that's it. Cool. All what we need to do now is just adding bunch of books here, and that will be it. And we're going to use Blender Kit to download free models from it and put it right here. And for these vertices, we can move these down and align it with the ground. And yeah, that's very cool. We got it. All right. I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one. Hello again and welcome back here. We have another bookshelf, this one, above the TV. Let's see how can we create it. All right, let's go to the right view. I just want to see if we can see it or not. Cool, it's visible. All right, let's see how can we create something like this. I think we can start with a circle and we can go from that. So let's see how can we do it. I will go to the front, and as you can see, it's still visible, and that's something cool. I will put the 3D cursor, for example, on the wall, for example, right here. And now I will go to the front and hit Z to go to wireframe, and I will add a circle, and I will align the circle to the view. Go to the align and switch this to view. All right, the circle, as you can see, is very big. I will change the radius to 10 centimeter. Okay. And maybe we can manipulate the vertices a little bit, or maybe we can keep them, or maybe we can, yeah, I guess we can increase the number to 62. Let's add 6 right here. And then I will hit G to move it and put it right here, for example, and I will scale it just to make it match the reference image like that. I will tab, and the gizmo orientation, as you can see, is still on normal. We can change this back to global. And now I will grab these vertices. I just want to delete half of this circle. Let's grab these and then hit X, V to delete the vertex, X and then V. And now I will grab those over here, and I will hit Shift D to take a copy over here in this area, as you can see. And I will delete half of this circle, as you can see here, this quarter, XV. And now we can grab half of this as well, and then hit, I guess, this side, we can grab it. I will hit Shift D and move this down. All right, if you want to get a perfect distance, you can use mirror if you like. For example, I can delete these new vertices and delete half of this, for example, XV, and I can grab these together, hit F to create a connection between them and complete the model. For example, grabbing these, hit E and extrude this over here, and then hit E and extrude this down here, and you can align this vertex with this one using a vertex snap. Hit G to the Z, and then hold Control and stamp it right here, and now they are aligned. And now if you go to the perspective, this is what we got so far. All right, now I will give this a mirror to complete the other side. I will tab and then go to the modifier list, and from the generate I will add mirror. Mirror working to the x-axis. You remember when I added the circle and I rotated when I used the align, the rotation changed here. It's rotated 90 degrees to the x-axis. I want to apply that so I can use mirror in the correct way. Just select this geometry, Control A, and apply rotation, and that's it. And now we can turn off X and align this to the Z axis like that. All right, it seems like here we have a small distance open area. We can go to the local mode just to determine the problem. All right, now I will select this and tab, and I will grab these two vertices, and I will activate clipping. And I'm activating clipping because I want to extrude this. I will show you what's going to happen if I don't active clipping. Now, what I want to do is I want to extrude this like that, and I want the extrusion stop to the middle. But without clipping active, you can push it beyond the distance that you want, as you can see. Okay. But now if you activate clipping and grab these vertices and then hit E to extrude it, it will stop to the middle. And that's what I want here. All right, and now we got this ready. All right, now I can apply mirror, or you can keep it for now if you like. Let's grab these vertices, this one with this one, hit F to create a face, as you can see. And now I will hit Alt click to select the other vertices and then hit F to create a big face right here. And now let's take a look. Cool. All right, now I will apply mirror. I guess we don't need it. And here we have three vertices in the middle. I can grab those. Maybe I can delete them, or if you like, you can keep them. It's not a problem. If you want this to be one surface, just grab this, hit F to change this to one surface. And from the right view, after you exit from the local mode, you can put this in the correct place. For example, you can start from here, moving this right here, and then you can hit E and extrude this like that. And let's grab this side and move it just a little bit like that. All right, and if the normal flipped, hit A and then Shift N to recalculate the normal. After that, we can tab out and take this out just a little bit like that. And now maybe we need multiple copies. So with this one selected, I will hit Shift D to have one on this side, as you can see here, and one here in the middle. That's very cool. And all right, after that, we need to create these pieces. So I guess we can start from this one. I will tab and grab this face to use it. I will hit Shift D to put temporarily right here, Shift D and move it to the Y, and then hit P and then S to separate this, or let's say to detach this. All right, now we are in the edit mode of this object. I want to get out, tap, and then select this one and tap in. And now let's start working on this one. G and move these, align these vertices right here. Grab those, hit G and align those over here. And I guess we should extrude them. After that, hit E and extrude this to this vertex. You can snap it, hold Ctrl and snap it. Make sure to active vertex snap, and it's flipped as you can see, and it's easy to fix. Hit A and then Shift and to recalculate the normal, and then hit Shift D to take another copy right here. All right, with this copy moving like that, hit B to active snap from point to point and grab this vertex and align it right here. All right, now hit A to select them all, hit Shift D to take a copy, and then hit B again, and you can take this vertex and snap it right here. All right, that's very cool. After that, now you can give it a bevel. So let's start with these. All right, let's move this over here, and let's go to the modifier, Shift A, and let's add bevel. Let's add 0.1 centimeter with 2 segment maybe. Harden normal. Grab this piece, right click, shade, smooth. And now I will grab those together, hold Shift to grab this piece as the last thing to select, and then hit Ctrl J to merge it with this one. And now these pieces will receive the same bevel we added to the first one, but they will not receive the shading smooth that we gave to this one, but it's something simple to fix. Right click, shade smooth, and that's it. And I will do the same thing for these pieces. I grab them, hold Shift to grab this, copy bevel to select it. Actually, it's not the same thing. I just want to copy bevel to the selected one. Right click, shade smooth. And now we got very nice result here. It seems like we have some overlapping hebel right here for some reason. I will grab these vertices like that and hit key and align them like this. And now I guess, yeah, I think it's fixed. Cool. Very, very nice. All right. I think that's it for this video. I will end it right here and see you at the next one. Hello again and welcome back here. In this video, I want to create the wall clock. Let's put this image right here and let's go to the right view. Hit Z to go to wireframe so we can see the reference image. And it is right here. So to create this, 3D cursor is still right here. You can put it anywhere you like, for example, right here temporarily. And let's go to the right, Z to go to wireframe, and let's add a circle. Hit Shift A and let's add a circle right here and align this circle to the view. And here we have it. All right, I will accept the number of the vertices, 62, and I will hit G to move it, and let's put it, for example, right here, and I will scale it to be big like that. Try to put it in the center. All right, something like this. And if you like, you can apply the scale because we give it a bit of scale. All right, now let's create this next circle. With this one selected, I will tap to go to the edit mode, and I will hit Shift with D to take a copy like that, and hit right click to leave this copy in the same place, and then hit S to scale this down just a little bit like that. You can go back to the reference image and make a comparison if you like. It's up to you. And I will take another copy, hit Shift D like this, and scale this down like that. And you can now grab half of this circle and then hit Shift D to take a copy up here, and you can grab the other half. I'm not so quite sure. Maybe these vertices, I guess. You can hit B just to make sure that you are selecting the correct vertices. All right, it seems like All right, yeah. The problem is if you create a selection like that, and if you put the selection perfectly in the middle, I don't have vertices at the middle, as you can see, and that will affect the curvature of the shape that we are trying to create. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I will delete those, hit XV, and I will grab this and rotate it 90 degree. Just rotate like that, 90 degree, and you will fix the problem. And now, yep, now we can select these vertices. We can select half of this circle, as you can see. So I will grab this half, hit Shift D, take a copy right here, and grab the other half like that, and hit Shift D and push this over there. And these vertices in the middle, you can scale them down like this because we don't need them. I will select this vertex with this one, and then I will hit F to create edge, or let's say connection between them. And then I will select this vertex. I can go to the perspective so you can understand what's going on here. I will select this one, Alt Shift to grab this one, and then hit F. And let's try to make this perfectly in the correct position. Maybe we should move this down just a tiny bit like that, or maybe up and then move this down. I guess that will be better, something like that. And now we got all the necessary circles, but this one in the middle, I will detach it because I don't want it now. So select these vertices and then hit P and then S to separate this out. All right, now let's tab out, and now with these vertices selected, I will apply the scale first, and then I will give it a thickness. What we can do is we can convert this to a curve, so we can give this a thickness. After you convert this to a curve, go to the curve properties and go to the geometry, open it, and under the bevel, and you can give it a thickness in this way. All right, everything looks cool, but here you can see the edges on the side are too much. You can reduce the number of the resolution from here if you like, in case you want to give this subdivision surface to make this even smoother. If you want to add subdivision surface later, it's not quite necessary to leave these edges so close on the side. We can reduce that, and that will be better. All right, so after doing that, now we can apply this to add subdivision surface. So hit Control A, and you can apply visual geometry to mesh if you are so satisfied. And now it's become mesh, as you can see right here. The icon is changed back to mesh. Now you can go to the modifier section, hover over here, hit Shift A to add, and now you can add subdivision surface. And yep, it's cool. Right click, shade smooth, and I guess that's it. You can increase the level from here, but I think that's not quite necessary. As you can see in the render is 2. I guess that's too much. 1 will be perfect. And now we can go back to this piece and tab, and with these vertices selected, I can hit F just to fill it with a face, and then extrude this just a little bit like that, and maybe extrude this one more time like this, and scale this inside. As you can see, the color is red. That's mean the normal is flipped. I will hit A and then Shift and to recalculate the normal. And I will select this face and then hit I to insert this. All right, and maybe now we can bevel this if you like. I will extrude this inside like that. And now we can start with the hour hand and the minute hand. So let's see how can we create them. We can go to the right view, and I can put the 3D cursor over here in the middle of this geometry. Just select it and then hit shift with S, hold it and move the mouse down to select cursor to select it. And now we got it right here. Shift A to add, and let's add plane. And let's align the plane to the view like that from the align section. It is very big, as you can see, it's 200 centimeter. Let's change this to 1 centimeter, make it very small, and I just want to take it out like that. All right, and let's tab to go to the edit mode, and I will select these vertices and hit E to extrude those almost right here. And you can scale it just a little bit, make it thinner. And from this side, you can extrude it just a little bit like that. All right, that's very cool. And now you can give it a thickness. So let's hit E and extrude this out like that. All right, after that, we can grab these edges and bevel them. You can use bevel modifier. I prefer using bevel modifier. So let's apply the scale first in case I think we didn't scale it. We changed the number. So now we can add bevel 0.1 centimeter, increase the number of the segment, shade smooth, harden normal. All right, and now I can add another one, or hit Shift D to have another one, and leave it in the same place. Just hit right click, and now you can move this below it like this, and we can make it shorter. Just tab, go to the vertex selection mode, hit 1, and then grab these vertices and just move it down just a little bit and make it shorter. Tab out, and that's it. Now you can rotate this. All right, R to the X, R to the X, and just rotate this a little bit. And if you want to add a beam, right here, you can add it right now. Let's add, for example, a UV sphere, I guess, and let's change the radius to 1 centimeter. All right, now let's take this out here, and I just want to rotate this to the y-axis, R to the Y, and let's type 9° like that. Tab to go to the edit mode, and I will delete half of this. XV to delete these vertices, and I will scale this, make it small. You can check that from the right view. And let's move this just a little bit. Right. And you can accept this result actually. Maybe you can flatten it just a tiny bit. And that's it. All right, very cool. So this is how to create the wall clock. If you want to create an empty to control this, you can go to the local mode, and what I can do is I can grab, for example, one of these edges, for example this one, alt click to select the entire edge loop, and let's put the 3D cursor right here. Hit Shift S and choose cursor to select it, and now 3D cursor aligned perfectly to this circle. And now I will add empty. We can manipulate the size of this big. And now I will select everything, hold Shift, select the empty, and hit Control B and set parent to object. And now we can move this from the empty. And in case you want to put it in a specific collection, go ahead and do that. Just select everything and then hit M and the new collection. You can call this wall clock, hit enter 2 times, and that's it.